find yourself stuck in a cycle of behaviors that you don't understand or you want to change? In this video, we're diving into the DBT skill chain analysis, a powerful tool to uncover the motivation behind our actions and start building real change. Chain analysis is a step-by-step breakdown of what led up to the behavior you want to change and what happened afterward that can help you identify vulnerabilities, triggers, thoughts, feelings, and consequences. It's a replay of what happened that gives you feedback on what you did well and can also highlight what you can do better the next time to avoid not great outcomes. A really useful way to envision this is to imagine a row of dominoes. Once you hit that first one, the rest come tumbling down predictably. Chain analysis helps you to see and avoid hitting that first domino. Chain analysis can be used for any situation that you want to understand better or to change. Some common ones are self-harm, substance abuse, emotional outbursts, people-pleasing, oversharing, and avoidance behaviors. To keep this from becoming about blame and shame, remember, apply the non-judgmental skill and to be compassionate. If you don't know the non-judgmental skill yet, check that out in the DBT playlist. So let's break it down. We start by identifying the problem. So what do you want to change? Let's say that I just had an episode of binge eating and I feel terrible. Next, we want to find the prompting event or the thing that set everything in motion. The thing that set it in motion was that I had a disagreement with my partner. Now, let's add vulnerabilities. These are things that made this cascade of events more likely to unfold the way that it did, like not getting a good night's sleep, being hungry, feeling lonely, or being stressed. This could be that I didn't get the promotion I wanted. I missed every green light. My back hurts. I got on the scale today and I'm 5 pounds heavier. I have a bill due that I can't pay. I was jealous because my friend got attention that I didn't. So be honest. This is not a useful process if you're not honest. All of these linking events could include your thoughts, emotions, urges, body sensations, and behaviors. This is basically a process of asking what happened next, and then what, and then what. You can get as detailed as you like. Zooming in might help you to see things that you didn't see when it happened. Now let's add the consequences, both short-term and long-term. You've kept this non-judgmental and stuck to the facts, right? Okay, now let's go back through the situation, creating a map of what this could have looked like had I been more skilled the first time through. We're not going for perfection, just improvement. And if we reimagine this using DBT the whole way through, we'll have lots of options for how to do it better next time, okay? We'll start with vulnerabilities because if we reduce vulnerabilities, we can head off a lot of problems before they start. So what's the first thing I can do every day to reduce vulnerabilities? It's meds. I say this in every group, but when I have a client graduating and then returning to counseling, my first question is, how's your meds? They always say that they aren't doing self-care anymore. It's the first thing to go. But it's also the first thing to do to get things back on track because when meds isn't good, your vulnerabilities are high. The next thing you could do to reduce vulnerabilities is use the ABCs please skill. Some of these are duplicated in meds, but there are other things here too, like coping ahead so you can avoid issues before they become issues and avoid drugs and alcohol. I'm going to add the observe skill as another skill to help with vulnerabilities because observe is one of my favorites. If I'm observing, I can realize that everything is just what it is and not blow anything out of proportion. So I guess that's also radical acceptance. Now, if I've done meds, ABCs please, observe, and radical acceptance and still get into an argument with my partner, I'm going to be less reactive. So things will already be different. If I'm present during the argument, I can use the non-judgmental skill and radical openness, which can help me to hear his side of the story, as well as give and fast. In the best case scenario, our argument becomes a discussion and there's no need to cope or binge eat after that. But let's say that I still have some intrusive thoughts. I can use check the facts. If I've got big emotions, I can use ride the wave. If I'm tempted to act out, I can use opposite action. These are not my only options, but they are options that can be effective. Now, coping ahead is going to require that you map out each circumstance because they're going to change. Context matters. This map will probably mostly work well with other situations that are interpersonal, but they may not work out well with different types of situations. So let's end with some tips for making this work, okay? First is to write it down. Don't just do it in your head. There's some magic that happens when your thoughts flow into your hand and out on paper. So take the time to write it down. It'll stick better. Be honest and detailed. It doesn't do any good to sugarcoat things or leave things out. So nobody knows about this but you, so don't hide anything. If it's not honest, it's probably going to have limited value, and you can catch things that you might not otherwise see if you include small details. Another tip is to focus on what happened, not why it happened. Mindfulness never asks why. It always focuses on what. This can keep you from getting bogged down by blame and shame too, so you definitely want to avoid the why. As you can see, using chain analysis is really useful for figuring out what really happened in a situation, but also for fixing problems. If you want to make real change, you have to have some skills. So check out the DBT, RODBT playlist for more skills to keep growing, and to be sure to subscribe so you get notified when new skills post. Thanks for being here. Ciao.